for me, that, and then at that particular point, some things happened with Jobo and it stopped, right? So I was like, now that was a good waking up point. Like, what do I want to do with my life?
So that's another point, by the way, before you go on. I think a lot of people lost their jobs. Yeah, when COVID came.
Yeah, I was like, what do I want to do with my life? You know the idea? Now what's next? What am I going to do now that I'm in this situation? And I was not okay. You know, there's a way you can just be smiling and everything. But deep down, you're like, yeah, I don't want to get there. There was a point I was like, especially after having that chat at Kenyatta, trust me, it's not free advertising. I'm just going to mention them because I think they did an amazing job. And because people are not doing enough. You know, when I think the government created a commission to see what we need to do about mental health, and what came up is we're just going to build a bigger Mathare hospital. Yeah.
For these people,
Yeah, so it was at that stage that I realized, I need to know what I want. I had a question. I if I was to put it genuinely, I questioned almost everything in my life. I even questioned at that point. I questioned my faith, my being as a human being, and I think now studying back, I had to take time and study, do my own research, understand, is this what I want to believe in? Does this make sense to me? And from that point, now I could start building a base. So from there, man, it was for me now questioning. COVID gave an opportunity to reset what I wanted. Yes, do I want this or this is what I want? And so with that coming up, I think without COVID we would not have never done this podcast.
Yeah, very true.
Without COVID we would never do this mental podcast. And it's we're not saying, oh, we are happy. No, what we're saying is it just gave us an opportunity to open up and have, like me and Enoch, just have great discussions of what's happening. And both of us liked podcasts. We were like, by the way, let's do something. Let's do something, because we have not really been in the hole, but we have experienced it, and people wanted to hear about it.
Yeah.
So that's what the story was.
And another thing I can say about those days was stigma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, stigma was a lot. Because those people who had suffered from the disease alone, even after healing, I think people are not accepting them back.
Yeah, because I think we didn't. I want to say we didn't know what. You don't know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, we have no one knew about COVID.
Yeah, no one knows what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You don't know. You're just hearing there's COVID, there's this, it does this to you. So you take care of your loved ones, and you're like, okay, I want to take it, but I'm also exhausted. And then, since I don't know it, there's so much information on the internet. Because to be honest, that's where I get my news. I stopped focusing on like these major channels because I just felt those. When I started watching news, I felt like news had started being created to make me feel angry.
Let me tell you something.
Just to get annoyed.
Let me tell you something. By the way, people are saying that whatever is being said on the news was lies, all lies.
The records, especially.
Yeah, even the COVID thing, people thought it was a scam.
Yeah. So for me, I felt like okay, and I'm not saying all media, because like right now, if I want to get news, I will literally have to go to different outlets. So to understand if the story is making sense,
which is the right to verify.
If the story is making sense, and which side of the story am I getting? I think that also now came up through COVID. Now, if I can't watch only, let's say I don't watch only CNN. If I watch CNN, I'll have to look for Fox and listen to what Fox is saying, and so on and so on. So if the story matches, that's when I started getting information. But there was so much information. It was right information and misleading information. on how to handle the same issue.
Yeah.
Like, you know, guys were arguing about masks. And I'm like, okay, it's okay with you. But now, the information was so much, I needed to take time and just calm down. So, if you're thinking of that, and now when stigma, the stigma is I'm getting information from a certain outlet and I like that outlet. I'm not willing to go to the next outlet. And then rumors.
Rumors were a lot.
And as you said, the way in Kenya, especially the burials were conducted, and then it is on TV. The guy was like, I don't think.
Even when somebody had signs and symptoms of COVID, maybe ni homa too. It was a cold.
Even people are afraid to sneeze.
But
to do anything.
But
you could not cough.
In a public area.
Because people say you have COVID.
Even at home, if you just say cough, and they're like,
but the stigma that is there, I think there was a genuine stigma because of misinformation also, and the way the issues were handled at the beginning, because it was like, okay, he's dead, 72 hours buried, and then when he's buried, the family is not allowed to do certain things. Grave, and then even when they put the grave, like, what is happening? What? So if I get this thing, it looks like I'm gonna drop this fast. So there was a bit of fear, and it was. I think sometimes you need a bit of fear because it helps also prevent the spread, right? But the lack of the lack of genuine information at some point got to my mind, and I was like, no, if that is what is true and what is false, what is this and what is this. So getting looking for genuine information was a bit hard at that time. So I think also, but just the issue, because this is a mental health channel, the issue had to be real to us. And the issue was real to us in terms of, it took Enoch some time to realize I have a problem, and me to realize I have a problem. So dealing with it, that was the stigma.
What I can add on, just apart from us, about us, anything like the COVID related to us and affected us, there's also someone you might have known outside there. Because me, the curfew of 7 broke a lot of families.
Yeah.
The curfew of 7 broke a lot of families. Because this is a family where children are used to seeing their father maybe once in a weekend. Because he will come back home late, sleep, and goes away. So most of the people don't know the character of the father. You see, or most of the people don't know the character of the mother. Because the mother will come, where are the kids? They're asleep. Okay, you see. So when they, 7, everyone's in the house, you find that 7, mom and dad are not okay, they're not talking. Hey, what's up?
I think
they have you see, it broke a lot of families because of the mental disorder of the family, because it was not like they had that strong mental health that it could bind them together.
Yeah.
It was very weak that, hey, the husband.
I don't think it was even something to bond them together. I think it was just the fact that, as you said, there was a lot of stress going on. There was a lot of stress. The father is stressed because here the children do not understand that you told them you will only work if you get paid and you don't have a job for you right now. So there was this inbuilt frustration and there was nowhere to get it out. Because in the African culture, a man, and I noticed a lot of men struggled even harder than women. Because women have this idea of, I can talk to this and this and this. Men struggled because you're supposed to be so strong. And people did not know how to, because people did not know how to deal with this frustration that they had. And that's why we had a high suicide rate, I believe.
At that point,
And here's the thing. It's at that point, the suicide rate was on both sides. It was the rich and the poor. But so there was a bit of no one has a way to get rid of their frustration. That's why you're saying a lot of families broke.
Yeah, a lot.
Because the father is like, I don't think it was even getting tired of looking at your wife or your husband.
Yeah.
It was just that I'm frustrated, and in some way I feel like you're not helping me,
Yeah.
or you're not understanding me, because first of all, I don't even know how to tell you how I feel.
For me, that's true.
Yeah, because people don't know. So the way we tell people how it's by fighting, beating,
quarreling,
tantrums,
yeah.
because none of us knew how to.
To express each other.
And you know, during those days when you wanted to solve something, you only had one option. Now, as in, not like when you are free to, maybe today, if I'm at loggerheads with you, I can just walk away and go and maybe, but that was not possible at that time.
And
You're still in the same house.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm not happy with you. It might take long for us to.
Yeah, because it's building, it's inbuilt, and we understand by the time people are watching this, some of you will still be locked up.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna look at the issues the way they were handled, it was also an issue of none of us know what to do now. How do I express my feelings? How do I tell this person? Like, even for me going to a counselor, I was like, how do I start telling this lady that I'm not okay? And my fear was, she's like, so you have a job.
Even was it easy to access them at that time?
A bit easier, because
It was a bit easier.
because also one thing, like right now those guys are booked. I would say Kenyatta Hospital is booked. Just the mental health part is booked because they're not many. They're not many. And then, counseling is not like treating a patient who is like, go to get an MRI. As he's going to an MRI, someone else comes in. It's you're dealing with this patient, or let me not call them patient, this client. You're dealing with one client at a time. If the thing takes, I see most of them trying to take a bit an hour, but it is one person at a time. So at that time, because people could not travel freely, and Kenyatta is a referral, guys could not come in easily. So there was a bit of space in between. So I could, even when I went, I was told, we don't have space today, can you come on this certain date? So at least, but it was not that long, it was like a day. Come, I went on Friday or so, come on Monday. So you see, it's just on a weekend because they needed free. But people, there was no connection in between, like right now, this is what you're going to do. And if your wife talks badly to you, this is what you do. We are not being trained by that. It's always walk away. Now I can't walk away. What am I supposed to do?
It was a challenge.
Yeah,
many families broke. Many families were
that's
having
a very
problems.
good point, Churchill. That's a very amazing point.
And me, the reason why I brought that point is because I saw a family which they have never even fought.
Yeah.
Like they're exchanging blows now. Because
Wow.
you can't live if you get out there. Police will arrest you and they will cane you. And I am in the house with you. We have to discuss this.
Yeah, and because us it's this thing of go to the bar. Men don't go directly to home.
Yeah.
Go to the bar. That's where you get your day sorted, frustration,
The bars were
and then you
closed.
come home. You guys are chilled, right?
And at that point also, bars were closed. No one was allowed to drink. So the drunkards were having problems so much.
But I was very happy with that.
With that, okay.
We understand that, but for me, the thing was, though everybody has a way of relieving stress. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, right? But now, when you put people together, these people have not been shown how to take care or deal with problems. So you're finding guys are just, they'll smash each other. And so if you're telling walk away, and then the frustration thing is, as I think if you're a parent, you may understand this more. You want to help your kid, but you can't. I think that now gets. Now imagine that boiling over to you, your mate has done what?
Yeah, those people.
Now that's when it hits the fan.
Yeah, but also I can say to a solution like that, what I can say, parents get that time to spend with your families. Just
to understand them. to
Yeah,
learn
even if
them.
it's a day, just take a day off from work. Just be with your son, your daughter, your wife.
Don't wait for the
don't wait for the pandemic to
Yeah,
come,
don't-
so that when you say my son nowadays is wearing
Grade
earrings.
class?
Yeah.
Apparently, what is grade 4?
Oh, you see, and you find you have a teenager daughter is wearing shorts, and you're like, hey, why you dress? And dad, I'm always used to dressing like this. It brings issues between you
yeah,
and
and
them. You see?
if you've not talked to me for so long,
No,
like, why
no,
do
be
you
like,
want
what do you
to
want
talk now?
now? You see, and the wife will be like, your dad is always busy. You know, so when you tell your mom like, your father is busy, your mother is busy. So parents get time to talk to your kids, get time to talk with your family. Just spend time, not a matter of going outside enjoying, just in the house. It's a good thing.
Funny thing, guys, this was the shortest episode we got because one thing this was just an us just having a conversation. So Enoch, as usual, parting shots.
Hey.
Parting shots.
Today, do I have one?
You need to have one because it's an experience. Yeah, and you'll have to cut your side. You need to have one.
Anyway, what I can say is that I just realized sometimes you might need people in your life.
Sometimes you always need people in your life.
You always need people in your life, so don't ignore people because you might need them.
Yeah, true. Shashiro.
What I can say, just find time for yourself.
Good.
Yeah, find time for yourself. Not because of a pandemic or because you are sick or because you're going through problems. Even at that moment that you are happy, just find time for yourself at that point and feel like I'm happy with and live and live. Yeah.
For me, I will end by a quote from a very good musician called Bien. When things are good, go for counseling.
Yeah.
They will help even when they get worse. So go for counseling at any time, right? You don't have to have problems to go for counseling. Your mental health is the most important thing. Talk to people, as you always say on this channel. Talk to people, find someone to listen to you. And when I talk, please listen. You don't have to have the solution, but you need to know how to listen. Not everyone must talk, but everyone must listen. And remember to subscribe.
Kabisa, you just click here.
Ni hapa.
Hapo chini.
No, ni wapi?
Hapo chini.
As usual. What will I say? The sofa is coming back next week. Don't miss it too much. But yeah. So guys, subscribe and muchachos.
Muchachos, tena.
Basi betupigia.